All right, now we're going to talk about step 2 to this book, Guide to Score Study by Battisti and Garofalo. Step 2 is score reading, and let's talk about this briefly. There's talk about score reading versus score cramming, score study versus score cramming. Hey, I have some guidelines for score reading. Number 1, choose a tempo and establish a pulse that will allow you to read and hear the music without stopping. Number 2, don't analyze the music. That's step 3. Avoid being concerned with details. Number 3, use your intuition and musical imagination. Let your subjective, non-analytical feelings about the music surface naturally. 4, don't try to memorize the music. Don't force the process by trying to absorb more than what comes naturally to you. 5, do not use the piano. 6, do not listen to recordings of the work. 7, allow playback time to evaluate progress in hearing the music in the mind. Set aside the score and listen to the inner hearing image. Now, with that point about do not listen to recordings of the work, I get that. This is what I noticed as a high school teacher watching a lot of high school drama productions. Every time you have a student actor watch a movie of the production, what they end up doing is they always end up creating an imitation, an impression of the actor doing that character, and it stops them from coming up with their own personal interpretation of how that character could be. Think about when you sing pop music. When you sing a pop song, do you sing it the way it could be, or are you just doing an imitation of the original artist singing that? So if it's whatever artist it is, Sabrina Carpenter, Madonna, whatever, are you actually singing it the way you would sing it, or are you just doing your impression of Sabrina Carpenter singing the Sabrina Carpenter song, right? That's probably what's happening. So I do get that. But this is what I would suggest instead. It's very hard to not listen to recordings nowadays, especially with YouTube. I would suggest go ahead and listen to the recordings, but don't listen to the same one repeatedly, because if you do that, then you just create an impression, an imitation of that recording that you've been studying. What you should do instead is listen to many, many, many different recordings and try not to listen to the same recording twice, at least not twice in a row, so that you're listening to the whole conglomerate of possibilities of how it could sound, and you're letting that soak in your mind. And then the more time you spend away from recordings, that's great too, because then you start misremembering how you heard the recordings, and you start generating a new original idea in your own head about how the piece could sound. So I would say, I don't totally poo-poo on listening to recordings, go ahead and do it, but don't listen to the same one multiple times, listen to many different recordings, and try to listen to them like one each, and then don't go back to it for a while. So that's step 2 of Guide to Score Study by Battisti and Garofalo.